So here we are once again, and I'm gonna get ahead of myself right here and say one of the reasons that I enjoyed the Royal Rumble was I thought that with Sheamus winning meant that we weren't gonna get Chris Jericho versus Punk, which meant by default we weren't gonna get Triple H versus Undertaker. Now I wanted to see Jericho against Punk, and that was kind of a sacrifice for me because I just don't want to see Triple H versus Undertaker. So then, little do I know, they still have the plan in motion, and they just switch it up to where on Monday Night Raw they waste a whole bunch of time with the Laurinaitis thing. And then Undertaker comes out and stands and stares, and Triple H pats him on the back and walks away. And I immediately, as soon as the gong went off, this is one of the only times ever that the gong's gone off and I haven't been excited and I've been pissed because The Undertaker is my second favorite of all time. And, I love watching him. I root for him all the time, all that kind of stuff. If I had it my way, if you could uh, make it so he's wrestling at the quality that he usually performs at for the next 40 years, it'd be amazing. I know it won't happen, but uh, I would never get tired of him. But at the same time, I just don't want to see this match at all. I mean, I didn't really even want to see it last year because uh, the thing I said last year was I only wanted to see it if they would have completely made it make sense. If they would have had the all right, well, actually, let me kind of circle around myself, and I apologize for this, but when Triple H first started the thing with the Undertaker, I was already mad about the Undertaker streak because I really, really wanted to see HBK versus Undertaker at WrestleMania 25, and I still to this day consider that probably the best match ever in WWE history. I loved it. My two favorites of all time at WrestleMania, streak on the line, perfect. Then, when they started teasing that HBK would face him a second time, I didn't want to see that. I wanted to see somebody brand new. Even if it would have been Sheamus or something like that, it would have been something else different. But I wanted them to have something along the lines of HBK wanting to get into the match because they were starting to talk about rumors that HBK was going to retire at WrestleMania. And I was like, well, if he retires, I want him to face Triple H. So I wanted it to be a situation where HBK wanted the Undertaker rematch, and Triple H kind of screwed him out of it. So then they start a feud with each other, and it ends with a retirement match. Maybe Triple H says, "Look, Sean, it's time to hang it up." He says, "Bullshit. I'll put my career on the line, and I'll face you. And if I beat you, then you know I've proven you wrong. And if you beat me, then I'll retire." And then have Triple H versus HBK at WrestleMania 26 end it that way, and then they could have had maybe Triple H against Undertaker the next year with HBK as the special guest referee. And does he want to screw over his friend who beat him last year, or does he want to screw over the guy who kind of beat him the year before and all that kind of stuff? They're talking about doing that this year with HBK as a special guest ref, and to me, they wasted their opportunity last year. I didn't want to see it. Now, I mean, I don't know. I could talk about this for the longest time, and I'm sure people get bored if it's just me talking. So, what do you guys think about this?
Um, yeah, I'm kind of. Yeah, I think indifferent would probably be the best way to put my feelings on Triple H versus what Undertaker 3 is what it's probably going to end up being.
Yeah, because
Yeah,
Triple
it's
H
the
always
third
has to
time.
do something one more than everybody
Yeah,
else.
it's WrestleMania 17, 27, and now it's going to be 28. But, I think if we're getting Jericho Punk, which it looks like we're getting, I think that's, for me, I really want to see that match. So this doesn't bother me, too much because, I think Jericho Punk would probably be, a great addition to WrestleMania this year. And, it kind of makes more sense than last year. I mean, Triple H, even though he was beaten by The Undertaker, he was the first person, to completely almost like gas him out completely. And, he made sure that, Undertaker didn't walk away on his own and basically kind of stole the spotlight, even though, well, big surprise there, but made sure, he couldn't walk away from the arena for like the first time in his career. And, this time I think with Undertaker coming out and, challenging Triple H himself to a match at WrestleMania, it's like he has something to prove. He wants to prove that, he can beat Triple H definitively and doesn't just need to sneak out a victory, and that he'll be the one walking away next time and it'll be Triple H being carted out for the next match. He has something to prove, and I think that kind of it makes it a little more interesting than it did last year. So I was kind of against it when I first, heard about it. But if we're getting Jericho Punk and the storyline they seem to be going with works out properly, I think it'll all work out anyway. So
Ah,
just really a third time, did you need to be the guy who faced him three times? Well, whatever.
mhm.
So that's where I stand on that.
Unfortunately for me, the Undertaker's been all downhill since 25, and if Triple H didn't face him previously, and this was going to be number two, I probably would have no objections. The fact that this is the third time with Triple H, and we had to wait a year for the Undertaker to come back, I'm really not, you know, I'm not hyped about it. It's like basically watching the Undertaker and Triple H wrestle for a month straight on Raw. It's nothing special. So to me, it's gonna. I'm really aggravated that because I'm going to Mania, that this is one of the matches on the card because it's Undertaker's number 20 and it's Triple H for a third time. So basically, he faced Michaels twice, Triple H three times, and Kane twice. So how the hell are you really like? To me, it takes away from the 20 and 0. If it was 20 different competitors, it would be more interesting to me.
Right. Yeah. And I would have preferred. I've been pushing Undertaker versus Barrett for a long time, and even that, I mean, naturally, I would have wanted that to happen above everything else. But I would have been fine with Undertaker versus Miz. I would have been fine with Undertaker versus Del Rio, although I would have said that I would have preferred Barrett, that kind of thing. I would have even been fine with Undertaker versus Jack Swagger or Ted DiBiase or something like that. I just kind of wanted to see something different. There's a level of difference between them. I mean, I wouldn't want to see Undertaker waste his match against like Camacho, but at the same time, I Triple H was like the one of the guys out of that top name of people that I didn't want to see. I didn't want to see Undertaker versus Triple H, Undertaker versus Henry, Undertaker versus Big Show, or Undertaker versus Khali.
Well, I'm
E-
pretty sure you're the one who said it that they should have kept Taker off this year and did the whole heel turn with Cena and then face those two off at 29.
I totally agree with that. I mean, of all people, for him to go 20-0,
John
I thought
Cena.
John Cena was the best choice
Mhm.
because since Cena really became the face of the company, I don't think they really had any interaction at all, have they?
Not
Like
really.
even in terms of matches on like TV
Nope.
or pay-per-view, I can only recall one time in 2006 where they might have, had a match that didn't last too long. But other
They'd
than
like
that, I don't.
tag team every once in a while or something like that.
Yeah,
Maybe like I don't know. I can't even think of any of those examples of them tagging in anything.
but I mean that's like one big money WrestleMania match that they have, and they could have built for 20-0, and now they're wasting 20-0 on Triple H.
Well, I'm working on the assumption here that there's about maybe a 60% chance that Cena's not turning heel with the Rock storyline, and maybe a 40% chance that he is. I'm not 50-50 yet. It all kind of depends on Elimination Chamber. But they seem to be building up to that as a possibility with the whole Embrace the Hate thing. And if they do have him turn heel, because they have to know, I mean, they kind of are oblivious to a lot of things every once in a while, but they have to know that he's going to be the heel in the match against The Rock. So I'm thinking maybe they're going to be smart enough to know that and just say, let's embrace that and have Cena go in as the heel, and we can have him be the top heel of the company for that whole year and have him face Undertaker at WrestleMania for next year, WrestleMania 29. And even though that's not WrestleMania 30, and WrestleMania 30 is most likely going to be at Madison Square Garden, um, they're pretty much talking about Texas being for next WrestleMania, right? Dallas, I think it is.
No, I heard Jersey in the latest rumors.
There's the we actually talked about it before, and for some reason my
Yeah,
memory's not.
Dallas
There's
got
the
X'd
Jersey
out.
and the Texas stuff.
Dallas got X'd out due to previous engagements there that year.
Huh. Well, if it is a Texas thing, then I can actually see Undertaker being inducted into the Hall of Fame and retiring and facing John Cena and doing that kind of a thing for next year, making it 20-0. Well, no, it's not 20-0. It'd be 21-0 because Triple H is messing it up. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
I think they're missing
as
a lot of opportunities here with
yeah,
that.
they're missing a major opportunity with Cena in 20-0. I said they'd be wasting 20-0 on Triple H. And then, you ended if he were to beat Cena next year, he'd be ending on an odd number, which sounds kind of weird. 21-0.
Unless they're trying to make it 20-1
Yeah, 20-1.
because of the way John Cena is. If anybody's gonna beat The Undertaker and it's not Triple H, then it would be John Cena.
He should run the gauntlet and catch up to the number of
It
WrestleManias.
would have been even better if like Cena didn't lose to the Miz in the triple threat at WrestleMania 24, and he'd be undefeated too. So if they were ever to face and Cena didn't lose the 2 times he did, it could have been like streak versus streak.
Well, he lost
But
to the Miz, but
yeah, he lost to the
and
Miz, and then he lost to Orton like a few years before. They missed
yeah,
a major opportunity with that too. So yeah, whatever.
yeah. So
Seems
I'm
like
not looking forward to this at all.
seems like 20-0 is going to Triple H.
Yeah.
Be that as
So
it may.
when it comes down to WrestleMania time, we'll talk more about this and everything like that. And I'll complain more, and you'll all complain to me and say it was a good match, and I shouldn't be complaining, and I'll say the hell with it. I'm still gonna bitch. So
it's gonna be Sting. It's gonna be Sting.
it's gotta be Kane. It'll be Shockmaster.
It was me, Austin.
So now we're gonna get right into the Royal Rumble stuff. We're gonna break this part up a couple bits, pin pieces, kind of go match by match, and then big section for the Royal Rumble itself. So the first part we'll be talking about the world title match